Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Alameen TV and the Friends of All American Muslim show. In this show, we host public officials and individuals from all over the United States, and especially from California, who are friends of the Muslim community. And today, it gives me great honor and pleasure to have one of our older friends from the city of Palmdale. He's the mayor of the city of Palmdale. His name is Jim Ledford, and he will be giving us his brief experience and answer your question live for a full hour and share with you his experience with the Muslim community. And we can hear your questions. You can call us at 818-683-1866, and Mr. Mayor will be very candid and honest and give us all of his expertise and dealing with the Muslim community. Mr. Mayor, welcome to the show.
Great to be here, Kamal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know, Mr. Mayor, I have known you for about 20 years. You've been a mayor. This is your 20th year a mayor. You've been with the city of Palmdale since about 27 years. You were a planning commissioner for 5 years.
Yes, sir.
City councilman for 2 years. A mayor, this is your 20th year as a mayor. This is your 11th term.
Yes.
Can you give us a little bit of background of how did you get involved with the city business? I mean, what made you get into this field?
Well, I did it through opening a business, and I did my own construction. I did my own drawings. But I did it myself, and people thought I knew how to navigate the system. Well, I didn't necessarily know how to navigate the system, but I was able to survive. I was able to open my business.
Like everybody else.
Like everybody else. It's very difficult. So that brought an invitation to get involved with the Planning Commission.
But, you know, I know every time somebody get involved, he gets angry about something or get upset about something. What made you actually, exactly what made you, was it something that you were upset about and that's why you said, you know what, I want to get into this business?
Actually, it wasn't about being upset.
Okay.
My reason to get involved was the future of my city. I wanted to know what was our destiny. When all of this growth, because we became very fast growing, when that was occurring, we thought to ourselves, what was our city going to look like? Well, after everybody's done, what kind of city are we going to have? And I didn't get the right answers to those questions. So I thought to myself, I better get involved. And I learned from myself, and then we can develop the city that we all want to see.
Okay, great. Can you tell the audience, because everybody is watching you from all over the world, so they don't even know where is Palmdale. So can you give us a little bit background about the city, where it's located, population, the cultural background of the population, what is specialized in, what is the industry, and so forth. Give us your, you know, background about the city.
Well, Palmdale. When I describe our city of Palmdale, it's a city of 100 square miles. We're in the high desert, meaning we're 60 miles northeast of Los Angeles. And we are the high desert, so it's a different climate. And it gets warm in the summer, it gets very cold in the winter, but it is a great place. It's a beautiful part of California, and our summer evenings are beautiful. Again, we're a city of 100 square miles. We're 155,000 population. And when I moved to Palmdale in 1969, we were 9,000 population. So we have grown very fast. And in the 90s, we were the 4th fastest growing community in America. Now, what did that translate to? You look at our community of Palmdale today, very, very diverse, very well integrated, and it creates a real opportunity for us to be able to, I guess, show what our community is as a result of very fast growth and a very I think the bottom line is everybody came to find a place to raise their children in a safe community that had some opportunities for us to have a good quality of life.
You know, as a mayor, as a governor, as a president, every year they give a state of their, like State of the Union address, a State of the State address, and you give a State of the City address every year. And you know, I was able to get just a small video of your State of the City address from 2008, I believe. Mm-hmm. Let's watch together.
We need to pay attention to the families. So as a community, let's be thinking about what we can do for the families of our soldiers that are fighting for our great nation. So that's kind of my opening, plea for the community. Now, as we start through our State of the City, I wanted to recognize the efforts of our Public Information Department who worked with me on this, and they do a great job. Every year they get better, and we're adding more technology, which is a good thing. It makes for a great presentation. But I got to tell you, as a speaker, it kind of confines you because now you have a script. And over the years, I like to kind of go off the top of my head, and I've been able to do that over the years. But we're going to a different level here at the City of Palmdale, and it's all about connecting, again, with our residents, with our business community. And it's all information, ladies and gentlemen, that this communication, as we get better and better at it, we're going to have greater opportunities to take advantage of information in our community, make us a better Palmdale. So let's start off with our State of the City. We can't start without talking about the economics and the 2007-2008 economic challenges. Kind of the bad news, but it's not all bad. Sales tax, 9% decrease, ladies and gentlemen. That's a huge drop in our community. The message, shut up.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, you saw the State of the City address, and basically you go over what the city did and what it's going to do in the future. Is that what this is all about?
Yes, usually a State of the City is we want to give a status of where we were the last year, reestablish what were our goals and how well did we work toward achieving those goals. And so the State of the City gives us an opportunity to take a very good look at where we've come from in the past year, but I also like to leave a little vision for what to look forward in the year coming, because it's important as a city of 155,000 people that we all work together for our goals, our common goals. So again, how do we achieve quality of life? How do we achieve safety? How do we achieve economic opportunity? How do we achieve better schools, better services? It all comes from establishing goals with a vision, and then we work with our residents to implement those goals.
Very good. Mr. Mayor, can you tell us about your relationship? You know, this program is called the Friends of All American Muslim, mm-hmm. and you definitely qualify to be a friend of all American Muslim. I'd like you to tell us, how did your relationship with the Muslim and Arab community started and when?
Well, I think about 20 years ago is when it started, and this was an opportunity for a person who I didn't know very well to come forward and be a part of creating a mosque and a school in our community. But the relationship, I think, really became pronounced when 9/11 occurred. And that's when we had to come together as a community and say, you know what, as Americans, we all share a common goal of support and an opportunity to enjoy American way of life without the threat of individuals wanting to do harm or to control our thinking or to blame us for something that may not be our fault. And so from all of that, we were able to develop, I think, just reinforce the American system.
You know, you are thinking ahead of me. Actually, I had a question about that. How did the city reacted after September 11, and what did the city and the public official in the city do to protect American Muslim in that city?
Well, again, I think it comes down to talking about, as Americans, you cannot take somebody and say it's your fault that this bad thing happened. And we had a lot of people in our community who were very supportive. A lot of people did not do that, but we had some that did. And it was important that we show unity. And the unity is, again, it was an extension of a relationship we had already developed through yourself and Dr. Muhammad. And from that, it was an opportunity for us to hold hands and show the world that we are standing together as Americans.
It looks like we got our first call, and we have line one. Yes. Assalamu alaikum. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Najdi Vitar. I'm calling from Bank. I really love the show. I love the friends of the Muslim community. You guys are doing a great job, and I really welcome these kind of programs that bring in the friends of the Muslim community in the United States. Palmdale is a beautiful city. I've done a lot of work over there, and really you guys are doing a wonderful job. I just want to congratulate you.
Thank you, brother, for this compliment. Do you have a question for the mayor?
I would like to ask the mayor, what are the plans for the city for the next 5 years? I have a lot of friends that are, really interested in
This is a big question. Are you talking about construction plans, social plans, or?
Construction plans, social plans.
Okay.
Well, I could talk a little bit about that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I would tell you our city right now is we're developing a sustainability in this new economy. We've had a very tough recession the last 4 to 5 years. We've had to make some very serious cuts in personnel and in services. And our job now is to rebuild our city in a more sustainable fashion, and meaning do things in a way that's sustained. When we develop programs, these need to be developed with a basis of affordability and sustainability with our residents. And so I see us, and we've done this for 3 years now, I suspect we're going to do it for a couple more. That's something I would look forward in the next 5 years, to see more sustainability in what we do as a city. Now, another big project you'll see in the next 5 years is we're going to reinvent our priorities and our goals. We're going to revisit our strategic planning. We're going to reevaluate our community plan, growth plan. We're going to be looking at all of these elements and how they fit together, and that will establish our vision probably for the next 10 years. And we'll be doing that here in the next couple.
Very good. Mr. Mayor, I know that you had established some kind of a policy or a very good habit of honoring religious or imams, from Muslim imams in your office every year,
Yes.
especially during the month of Ramadan.
Right.
And we have some pictures today that we can see together, and then we can elaborate on that if we have. Let's watch together some of the pictures that you had in your office with these imams. Yes, we watch those. Actually, every one of them represent a different year, a different imam who came from a different country. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I thought it was quite fascinating to get to know people from another part of the world and to see what their impression is of my community. And it was great to come into our office. You bring them into the office. We're able to talk, exchange just some stories, exchange some gifts, and just develop goodwill and camaraderie. The message I want them to take back is Palmdale is a great place to come to visit.
Believe it or not, some of these imams, they still have a contact with us, and they're still talking about the impression that this visit put in their mind, and how much it affected their life, and they took it back to their own country, and they were very, very happy about it. And we as Muslim community appreciate this gesture from you, because this shows the genuinity of your heart, that you're really a person of everybody. And I know that your leadership promote interfaith, good relationship with all faith, with everybody from different background, not just the Muslim community. And this is something that we admire you as a mayor, and we appreciate that.
Well, it also happens to be a principle of our nation.
That's right.
America. Our Constitution guarantees our freedoms in this fashion. And it's beautiful when we're able to come together and learn about each other. I think that promotes respect. I think it also promotes an appreciation of what we all bring to this tapestry, this matrix that we call America. And it's the beautiful thing is the system protects our rights and our freedoms to be whatever it is we want to be in this country.
Absolutely. You know, we are wearing something today, which is a pin, which represent the 50 years anniversary of the city of Palmdale, which is going to be in August 26.
Yes.
I am older than the city by 3 months, by the way.
I wish I was younger than my city.
And I know the city is doing some celebration and some programs that we're trying to promote. So can you tell us about that?
Well, let me tell you about one we did this week. We have an organization called SAVES in the city of Palmdale, South Antelope Valley Emergency Services. And what it does is it provides intervention to individuals that need housing and food or clothing. It's really the compassion side of our city of Palmdale. And we are now this year, we're going to celebrate our 50th anniversary by having a 50,000-pound food drive for SAVES. That is just one event of many that we're going to be doing in the city of Palmdale.
You know, I want to help you do that. And I would like to urge all of our audience, all of our friends from all over Antelope Valley, Los Angeles area to donate whatever they want. They can donate food, canned food. They can donate clothing in good shape that is you can use. They can donate money if they like, and their donation is tax deductible.
Right.
And I am urging them to call the city of Palmdale at 267-5100.
Right.
Area code 661. So please, I urge all of our audience, all our friends, all of our Muslim everywhere, if they want to help in this celebration of the city of Palmdale 50th anniversary, to call the city of Palmdale as 661-267-5100. Again, you can call the city of Palmdale at 661-267-5100 and make your contribution to the city and celebrate with them in this program. And it looks like we have another call on line 1. So let's take this call. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May I speak to the mayor, please?
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ahmad. I'm calling from Palmdale.
Yay.
Welcome. You have a question for the mayor?
Yes, please. I want to ask him how will the Muslim community help that city and what kind of businesses they are looking for at this point?
Well, how can we help the city? We can help the city by being united and doing what's right for our community, being partners and working together and embracing the new growth that's coming, the new people moving into our community. That's something we can all do individually in our neighborhood. We can do it in our businesses. Now, the type of businesses we're looking for well, anything that can provide jobs for our fast-growing city of Palmdale. We have an excellent labor pool. If you look at our residents, they have experience in everything that's going on in Southern California. And quite frankly, a lot of people commute into jobs into the LA Basin. But we have a lot of expertise in a lot of different areas that would make it an attractive location for a business that may be tired of leasing space where they want to own. The affordability in Palmdale allows you to own what you might lease in the LA Basin. So this gives opportunity for affordability for business, and from that we hope we can create more jobs. We need jobs locally so people that do not want to commute can work close to home. And I think that preserves the family, it preserves the opportunity for a good quality of life, and it doesn't require you to drive many hours every day.
So the Palmdale does not become a bedroom community.
Yes, that's right.
Looks like we have another call, line 2. Assalamu alaikum, what's your name?
My name is Noah.
Yes, Noah. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling here from Los Angeles. I have two questions for Mayor Ledford. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Sure.
You're welcome.
Also the people in charge. The first question that you have one of the largest cemetery and you have many Islamic centers over there in Palmdale, which we're very appreciative of that. Some cities, they are really resistant to have the Muslim cemeteries or even Islamic centers in neighborhood. In your experience with the Muslim community in Palmdale, how was the experience with them and what's your word of encouragement to other cities? That's the first question.
Okay. Well, let me answer that. I think my impression has been great because, again, our community is made up of many different people. many different faiths, many different, well, just different people, and we need to work as Americans. Again, our way of life is inclusive of all people. And so our city of Palmdale there's a place for everybody that wants to work in harmony, that wants to promote opportunity for all of our residents. Then you have a place in Palmdale. You would be welcome in Palmdale. And so I find that the Muslim community is not much different than any other group. We all have an expectation of good quality of life and the ability to raise our families in peace in our city, and I think we've achieved that.
You have another question, brother?
Yes, I am an emergency room physician. I also work at Palmdale Regional, which is a beautiful facility, which a lot of people are seeking medical help.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have difficulties finding referrals for people who don't have medical insurance.
Right.
And they have to drive far away to Los Angeles to our county hospitals. How the city of Palmdale will help this community, expanding people without medical insurance, to have some medical satellite clinics in the city of Palmdale so we can refer easily?
Well, we do happen to have clinics in our community for those that are underinsured or those without insurance. Now, we know the County of Los Angeles provides a lot of the services for the uninsured, but we also have some very compassionate groups that are working together. One that I'll mention would be our Partners for Health in our city of Palmdale. It's a consortium of all the healthcare providers have provided resources where we have now 2 locations in our Antelope Valley, one in each city of Lancaster and Palmdale, for those that may be uninsured. The idea is to try to get into some kind of managed health care, meaning we don't want to show up at the emergency room when we have a problem. We'd like to get into more managed care where we're staying ahead of our health care needs, and these are a very compassionate and generous opportunities for us to do that. And so what we're finding is we have a brand new hospital in our community that has brought a lot of focus as far as medical care services we've never had. We're now experiencing in our city, but we also know that many residents also may not have any insurance whatsoever. And that we have to provide an outlet for these folks because the cost at the emergency room is far too high for us to be able to sustain. Again, we talked about sustainability early in the show.
Yes.
Well, it extends to our medical care as well. So we're looking for ways to get people to eat right, to exercise, to live the right lifestyle that will actually limit maybe their needs to show up at the emergency room.
Thank you, brother, for this excellent question. It looks like we have no more calls. Let's continue. In the past couple of years and recently, we have seen some serious bigotry at its best.
Yes.
And some of these bigots are public officials, elected officials from different levels of government, federal, state, even local, even church officials. What do you tell these people? How do you teach them what you have been practicing for the last 27 years as a public official?
Well, again, all public officials, you swear an oath to uphold our Constitution, both at the state and the federal level. That guarantees us the ability to pursue our own path in our community. So in Palmdale, when I see the bigots, first I challenge them is where they learn the bigotry. And then we have to also school them, educate them, that it's not acceptable in our community to express those types of opinions, that it is not substantiated by law, and quite frankly, very divisive, and it creates conflict. And that is opposite of what we're trying to accomplish in our community. So there is no place, in my opinion, for these people. And I don't know where they come from, but our city is not going to tolerate bigotry. We're not going to tolerate scapegoating people. We're not going to tolerate developing reasons why we can't work together. We're going to do the opposite. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that.
Actually, that takes me to another question that I remember. After September 11, the city of Palmdale made a resolution against hate crimes that commits against Muslim or people of Middle East or in general. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about that?
Well, again, I think when something like a 9/11 occurs, you have individuals that do want to point a finger, and they try to, they try to create an image that is not true. For us, as a city, I think I was proud of the fact of issuing the resolution. I was proud of the fact that we were able to stand.
And the resolution basically doubles the crime, doubles the penalty for the crime.
Yes. Okay. So these are, it's unacceptable in our community. We were able to come together as Palmdale. We were able to stand together, and we all were able to proclaim that the principles that we stand for as Americans, that this is a society that allows everybody to flourish and live in pursuit of happiness. So people that want to do the opposite, we have to focus on these individuals because they can be very dangerous for a community, and they give our children a reason not to want to participate and be Americans.
Very good. 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, maybe a little bit more, you had to stand in a press conference. I remember, and this was concerning taking action against public officials in the north of Palmdale who made offensive comments against the Muslim community and against the community at large, and you were not afraid to voice your opinion and condemn their action and say it loud and clear. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, again, as Americans, we have a responsibility to speak out. When we see a social injustice, or we hear, in this case, a bigot, a councilwoman actually, who's since resigned, so the public opinion did not work for her. And our job was really to expose her for what she stood for, and that became unacceptable. And so there is good outcome, and as leaders we have an obligation. That is our obligation when we sign up to lead our community, that we're here to lead for everybody. And again, the law of our nation backs us up. So it's very easy for me. It's the way I was raised.
It comes natural.
It comes very natural, and it's really the only way America survives is when we speak up as leaders.
That's right. It looks like we got another call on line one. We got Hadir from Palmdale. Assalamu alaikum, Hadir. You have a question for the mayor?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
First, I would like to say that the city of Palmdale is lucky to have a mayor like you. Also, I'd like to congratulate you on the 50th anniversary for the city of Palmdale.
Thank you.
What is the city of Palmdale doing for the youth, especially that they're coming out of school soon?
That's a very good question. Thank you, sister. Assalamu alaikum.
Actually, you know, the last strategic plan that we built as a community was about 5 years ago. And we established as one of our top priorities youth. Youth engagement, youth opportunity, youth experience, youth training. And we have a very robust program where we engage our young people on a lot of things that they need for life. Opportunity. We hire many, many young people in our community to do our summer programs. And so we give them an opportunity to learn some skills, job skills. But we also teach them how to interview, how to dress for success. We teach them how to do...
dress to impress.
Dress to impress. But it's not always about work. It's also about, again, play and quality of life. So we teach our young people how to be leaders within their own ranks. We teach young people how to handle responsibility. We reward good behavior. We have many great examples of young people doing great things that we want to make sure that we get them recognition for that.
Do you have a specific program that the city in the summertime is going to do? Or?
Well, our summer program is really all of our Parks and Rec programs is where we hire our young people. We have a concert series that we put on that we hire young people to put. Our Thursday Night at the Square is designed primarily young people are operating at event.
And to learn about any of these programs, they can call the city main line at 661-267-5100.
They can go on the phone and find out. They can go on the web, www.cityofpalmdale.org, and can give you lots of information about our community. And if you want to learn about our youth initiatives, and we have many things that we're doing with our young people. And actually, we're having some seminars coming up very shortly where we're inviting young people to come together and tell us what do they think of the community that they live in? What do they see that we can do better? And what initiatives should we be considering to provide opportunity for our young people?
Very good. Mr. Mayor, I remember you have attended 100% of all the grand openings for a Muslim community in the Antelope Valley. And I remember the last grand opening you had, we had a mosque that was opened in Rosemont, which is inside the American Islamic Institute cemetery, and you were one of the speakers there, and we have a video on that. I would like to show it to the audience that you participated. So let's watch together.
Thank you, Kamal. You know, shortly after my election as mayor back in 1992, wow, what a long time ago that was. Time is flying. But right after that, I had an opportunity to meet Dr. Muhammad. And I didn't know Dr. Muhammad from anybody for that matter, but I quickly learned that he had a vision, certainly a vision for this Antelope Valley, but particularly in Palmdale, and his desire to build a mosque and a school and a cemetery where these are goals you can talk about, but what I think was important about our relationship is he immediately engaged our community. And through our community, through our Interfaith Council, through our International Heritage Picnic Committee, these are just two examples of engaging the community at large. And I think Dr. Muhammad actually got to put forward a hand and a gesture of friendship. And I think the test for us was, 9/11 was the test. And I got to tell you, I'm very proud of our Antelope Valley because we stood together, united as Americans. United as Americans, and it was a wonderful test. And I got to tell you, I was unsure of how we would come out of that, but I got to say, I'm very, very proud. Dr. Muhammad set the stage for all of that. He is the leader that has not only set the goals, but he exhibited the behavior necessary to promote the friendship, the bond, and the unity. So for us as a city of Palmdale, I'm proud to be out here. This is not my first time, but I got to tell you, it's beautiful. The work is fabulous, and the progress. Kamal, good job.
Thank you.
I know it's not just you, but for everybody involved, good job. So we at the city of Palmdale, we have a commendation that we want to present as well to recognize Dr. Muhammad, his vision, and certainly the results are in front of us today. So I'm just going to say on behalf of Steve Hoppar, who's with me today, Councilman, it's my pleasure on behalf of our entire City Council to deem it an honor and a pleasure to extend this commendation to the American Islamic Institute of the Antelope Valley in honor of the official grand opening of this mosque building in the name of Dr. Muhammad. Thank you.
Very good.
Wow, remember that day?
Yes, I remember that day. In that day, it was March 5th, and you know, March, it is a month that is, you never know when it's going to rain, you never know if it's hot or cold. And that day, God has sent us the best, beautiful weather, and we called it a designed by divine.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Well, it applied to the food too.
Yeah.
Because we ate very good that day.
It was a very good celebration, and you have been in several other celebrations. I remember in the grand opening of the mosque, the grand opening of the school in the first phase, the grand opening of the second phase. So you never miss. You have 100% attendance attendance rate in that department. And which also, you know, the Muslims in the Antelope Valley shares with you, and you share with them every year something special during the month of Ramadan.
Yes.
What do you share with them?
Well, the fast. Actually, the eating.
The breaking of the fast.
Yes, the breaking of the fast at the very end is, it really is an opportunity to celebrate. And again, more good food. I've become, well, better at appreciating.
And we're going to talk about that in a few seconds.
Okay. So, but it was a great celebration, and breaking of the fast is, I've learned, and I'm learning as I go, but this is a great opportunity to come together and reestablish the relationships for the next year.
You become an expert in the Middle Eastern food.
Getting there.
And, you know, we classified you now as a hummus expert.
I am a hummus expert, yes. Actually, it's something...
It was quoted in the newspaper, too.
Yes, it was. It's a lot of pressure. No, but it's a good thing. And I think it's just, again, we're discovering the best of a culture. And so it gives me an opportunity, and I get to do this in my city, very diverse. So not only is there great culture in the Muslim community, but it really extends throughout. And I've learned to become an international food critic. And I'm learning, you know, there is many, many great types of food out there for us to enjoy.
I want to ask you a funny question.
Okay.
Presidential candidate Newt Gingrich called the Palestinians invented people. Do you think Muslims are invented people?
Maybe invented by God.
Yes. Yes.
Well, you know, to me, those kinds of statements separate the best of America.
And it shows the ignorance.
It does.
Lack of knowledge.
And again, their goal is to separate us. Our strength is when we unite. And to say a people is invented, I don't know how to respond to that. It just seems very, very odd you would hear that from a presidential candidate.
Yes. And that is very funny that somebody with his degree of being a public official used to be the Speaker of the House, running for a president of all of the American, which including about 8 to 12 million Muslims. How do you think he will answer to that? I don't understand. How can you be a president for all these people and you're supposed to be, regardless whether they voted for you or not? You are the mayor of everybody, whether they voted for you or not.
That's right.
He's going to be the president of everybody, whether they voted for him or not. How responsible do you think these kind of comments?
Well, it's not responsible, and quite frankly, it's the reason he will not be our next president.
I'm so glad.
Because as Americans, we all share these same values that is not acceptable. That is not acceptable to the majority of Americans. And the beauty of our country is, yes, you have freedom of speech, and yes, you can say what you want. But when it comes to politics, you may not have enough following to take you where you want to go. And I think in this case, that speaks to why he's doing so poorly in the polls. Because as a leader, that's not what we want representing our country.
Absolutely. You know, it's just amazing. We've seen Congressman King, when he was opening his hearing about ridiculing radicalization of Islam, and we've seen the work of Sheriff Libaka, yourself, and people all of the friends of the Muslim. They came together and they were able to defend that, and it was not, it's gone nowhere actually because of people like you, and we really strongly appreciate all the efforts done by people of conscience like you.
Well, I think, again, if I could just say, Sheriff Libaka is a great example. What I'm doing, I'm merely just representing my community. I believe that leadership requires us to step up when nobody else is stepping up. That's when we step up and when we have to do the right thing and say the right thing. And I believe most people, a majority of Americans, support that. And I truly believe that. So people that want to be divisive, I don't see a following there. I think that, yes, they may have friends, but the majority of people will not accept that as what they're going to do. So leadership requires us to lead sometimes, and sometimes you have to take a risk. Well, it's not really risking much when you're embracing what this country stands for, our Constitution, our way of life, our law, our checks and balances. It's all there to protect what we are.
That's right.
And that's our choice of who we are.
You know, you have been honored with CARE in 2010 annual banquet. But before we talk about that, I think we have another call on line one. We have Gamila from Palmdale. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Gamila.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Welcome to the show. You have a question for the mayor?
شكرا. First, أنا حابة أشكر المير على كل الخدمات اللي بيقدمها للمسلم community في بامديل.
She's talking in Arabic, so I'm going to have to translate.
Sure.
She's thanking the mayor for all of the services that he's providing to the Muslim community in Palmdale.
Thank you.
أتمنى إن هو يستمر سنين طويلة مير في بامديل ويفضل معانا في المدرسة بنشوفه في المسجد بنشوفه everywhere. He supported the community Muslim, the Muslim community.
She wishes that you continue to be a mayor forever because of your support to the mosque and the school and everything, all the functions and in the Muslim community in Palmdale. عندك سؤال للمير؟
أنا هو طيب على العيد ال50 كمان لسيتي بامديل.
She's congratulating you and the city of Palmdale for the 50th anniversary.
Thank you.
بس شكرا. السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام. Thank you.
Well, thanks. Now, I really have I'm blessed and honored to be able to lead my community. And it takes individuals like her to be a part of that. So my goal is to be inclusive. And I think that brings strength.
Yes. We have another video that we're going to be watching, CARE. But let's talk about that award that night. Mm-hmm. You never been in any banquet like this before.
No.
Can you tell us about your experience that you had with the CARE banquet in 2010 when you received the Courage and Leadership Award with, along with Sheriff Lee Baca?
Yes. Oh, quite an honor. And it was, and quite a destination. I mean, the convention center in Anaheim is very big. And to walk into that building, to be totally consumed by the Muslims of Southern California, it was really eye-opening for me, because what I saw was just a cross-section of America again. It's what our country stands for. And I didn't know many people at all until we went to sit down to eat. And then, of course, all of our friends from our city and outside of our city were there. So I felt very, very comfortable. And the entire environment is one of comfort. And certainly we're all looking to celebrate, leadership in our Southern California, and that was a great opportunity to recognize other leaders. But when I got to be recognized myself, I felt it was a very humbling experience, because all I'm doing is what I was raised to do. And for people to recognize that and to honor me for that, it was very humbling, very special, and I can't say thank you enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, we have major organizations that, like Muslim Public Affairs, CARE, ISNA, ICNA, all of these organizations, they work together in civil liberty and civil rights protection. And you have actually been recognized by CARE, and some of your enemies criticize you for that. What do you tell these enemies?
Well, I tell my enemies, get over it, because again, I'm very clear on my charge as mayor and what my role in local government is, and it's to support. It's support our freedoms. Again, these are freedoms that we need to celebrate, and we need to speak out when people want to take them away. It's very natural for me. I'm doing just what I believe I was elected to do, and I think that's not that complex. It's not that hard to do, to understand, to live by. And if everybody does that, it all works very nicely. Those that want to say no, those that want to be exclusive, those that want to create conflict, there's no place in our community for them. And they need to understand that. And I think they do understand that. And that's why sometimes they are critical. But you notice they're not critical in front of the world. They hide and make their criticisms. And to me, that doesn't show confidence. And for us, the Antelope Valley, City of Palmdale, we are a destination for all people. And our community is welcoming all people. And we're going to stand for that.
Yes, absolutely. Every year, Muslim community in Palmdale, they do Muslim Family Day.
Yes.
And you are always a guest, and you always answer the call.
Yes.
And what do you learn from these Muslim days?
I learned that I'm going to get fed very well. Now, it's good to see families. What do I expect? I expect to learn maybe a little more, but really see what I already know. These are families. They're in the love of their community, and their willingness to come together to make a difference in our community is greatly appreciated by me. And so I like to show up and support that, because these are our commonalities. These are the things that we share, and we should celebrate that at every opportunity. Oh, it's not just the Muslim community I do that with. I do it with
Absolutely.
the entire international community.
I know that you do it with the Korean, the Filipino, the
Yes.
Hispanic, and Mexican, and in general, And it looks like we have a call on line 1, Mohammed from Palmdale. Assalamu alaikum, Mohammed. You have a question for the mayor?
Yes, hi, I'm Mohammed Al-Sisi. I just would like to congratulate the mayor and the city of Palmdale on its 50th anniversary.
Thank you.
And speaking for the youth group, I wanted to ask the mayor a question.
Yes, go ahead.
What does the mayor think of today's stereotypes of Muslims?
Oh, I don't know. The stereotypes to me are not accurate because, come on, I mean, people rarely meet the stereotype when you get to know them personally. And that's the beauty of, I think, some of the outreach that we try to do as a community. For instance, when we have an International Heritage Picnic Day where we learn about other cultures, it's really to dispel the stereotype, to bring the individual forward. And I think the stereotypes are usually used to, overly gloss over maybe a bias or a prejudice. Usually these are people that have, their mind is not open to what the world is and what it has to offer and what it means to be an American, quite frankly. Because again, it goes back to, this is a place for everybody. And that's the way our community has to be.
So I want to go back to that award that you received from CARE. That's called Courage and Leadership Award. You received that along with Sheriff Libaka. Let's watch together.
Award goes today to two outstanding leaders. First, Mayor James Ledford Jr. of Palmdale has publicly condemned hateful anti-Muslim remarks, emphasizing the need for partnership and mutual respect.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for the honor of inviting me here tonight to recognize what should become very natural for any elected official. We have a responsibility to lead by example, to stand when the issues arise in our community that require leadership. I got to tell you, we're fortunate in the Antelope Valley. We have a very diverse community, and we have a united community. And our interfaith is our strength. So thank you very much for this award. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
That was a very, very good award, and it was a beautiful night. And actually that night you were interviewed by French TV, yes, by other media. They were there. It was absolutely a well-deserving leadership award that you received. It shows your bravery and courage to speak out your mind regardless of what the people think, because you stand for that. I am going to...
Our successor generation. It's going to make it better than it is today. And I think, I feel pretty good about our future and where we're going as a community. So I would tell to any community, whether it be Muslim community or whoever that might be out there in the world, the expectation in Palmdale, I think, is represented by, again, America. You have opportunity there, and we can flourish together in our community.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it's been a pleasure having you on our show. The hour went like 1 minute.
It did.
And I'm sure we will be having you more often in our show. Mm-hmm. And the whole Muslim community in Palmdale and all over the United States who are watching you today appreciate all the work that you have done. And I really, personally, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I know you personally, mm-hmm, and I know the contribution you have made to the community and to the Muslim community, especially in Palmdale. And we need more people like you to be in the public office. And I know you have a presentation that you like to give to the leadership at Alameen TV.
I do, and quite frankly, it goes both ways, my friend.
Thank you.
We work together to make our community better.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what I have here is a certificate of recognition. We're basically recognizing Alameen TV, Friends of All American Muslim Show, and this is from our city of Palmdale. We want to recognize you.
On the camera.
Yes. And this just gives us just a recognition, I think, of a relationship that is very important. So the information and the dissemination of that information, very important. Thank you, Alameen TV.
Thank you. Thank you. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching our show. Inshallah, we will be hosting another guest on our show next month. And we're always looking forward to speak to our friends of all American Muslim all over the United States. And thank you, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.